All right, now that we're all here, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Marty Sullivan,
Present.
Stephen Peritano,
Present.
John Allen,
Present.
Cindy Bowman,
Here.
Irene Boyle,
Here.
Bob Feather,
Here.
Tina Hollenbach,
Present.
Adam Kovitz,
Here.
David Marrington, absent with prior notice. You have a quorum.
Thank you. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. The board met in executive session this evening prior to this meeting to discuss matters of employment, issues related to labor relations, and matters related to litigation. The district mission statement. The Neshaminy community builds futures by empowering each child to become a productive citizen and a lifelong learner. Any announcements?
No announcements.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, Superintendents Report.
Good evening, everyone. On tonight's agenda is the calendar for the 2020-21 school year. Just a minor modification from what was at our public work session. It really only involves our 12-month employees. The Monday on the winter break week was modified as a day where the district is closed. Other than that, everything stays the same for teachers and students, and that's the most important. Highlighting the fact that Chris Stanley is doing a new feature this year. If you haven't caught it yet on Facebook, it really is worth seeing because he's going around the district and videotaping and spotlighting different classrooms. And so it's a nice opportunity for teachers to show off some of the unique things happening in classroom, whether it's new seating arrangements or special opportunities for kids to interact with their academic program. And so we applaud Chris for this idea to get around and see some of the principals, to find teachers who are doing some unique things that are worth showcasing. So I thank him, and I thank the classroom teachers who've opened their doors to us. Also, Middletown's Big M sign will have Neshaminy student artwork rotating on a monthly basis. So as you're driving past, you can't miss it, but you may also see some of our students' fine artwork. And I again, thank Chris Stanley for some of the work getting us connected with the community that way as well. It took me a little while to figure this out. The class of 1989 is inviting all 20th century Neshaminy graduates to attend a reunion Saturday, November 30th, 7 p.m., Radisson Hotel, Northeast Philly, and there's a link here in my superintendent's report. So 20th century, anybody in the 1900s if you graduated. So I caught up. I was trying to figure out who were they inviting out to this, and how old were those people be. So it's a large group of people. Congratulations to our environmental club at the high school, our science club at the high school. Actually, one Pequessing middle school student joined them as they joined up with the Middletown Environmental Action Committee recently, planting 11 trees over at Simmons Park. Also want to congratulate our elementary school students who participated in a 5K race in New Hope. It was part of a girls running club, Girls on the Run at Miller Elementary School. We thank the teachers who were participating with the young ladies doing that. They had a great time at the run. Our Pink Out effort at the high school this year raised $7,750. That check was given to the Consciousness Foundation, the Healing Consciousness Foundation, which provides support and services for breast cancer patients during their treatment. It's a local foundation that helps many women and men in the Neshaminy community, and we thank all those who helped with that great cause. Another spotlight, which was unique and special on our Facebook page, was the work of our physical education teacher at Fertibar Elementary School. Brian Ferris Kelly built some hand-built some adaptive devices to allow his physically challenged students to participate in the various activities during his class. We had some of our regular ed students as well join in. It was just a wonderful video that Chris Stanley was able to capture the really unique and good and special work that's being done there by the educator, Mr. Kelly. We thank him for his work and all the students supporting that effort there at Fertibar. Aramark it was out at Pearl Buck Elementary School. They'll be visiting other schools this year as well. doing a culinary kids club presentation. Our students had a chance to learn about eating a well-balanced meal and even had fun making and eating their own yogurt parfaits. It was a good chance for them to hear about some different food options, and it was well received by our students. There are any number of special holiday activities occurring across the district for this upcoming holiday, right through the winter break. We have so many students bringing in donations for families in need here. We thank all of our students, all of our families who helped and shared, and I wish everybody a peaceful and a good Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. We have one presentation tonight, which is probably, I'll call it a surprise presentation. Tonight is Mr. Feather's last meeting on the board, and on behalf of the board and the district, we'd like to present him this award.
Yes.
That brings us to the first public comment period. Did anyone?
Mr. John McGinley.
Good evening. John McGinley, President of the Neshaminy Education Support Professionals Association. After almost 2 full years of bargaining, we have a dispute with item 4.01 on tonight's agenda. NESPA voted with one understanding, and now after we have voted, we discovered that the Neshaminy School Board has a different understanding of holidays as they count towards overtime. We are requesting that the board table your vote this evening so we can work out this specific language dispute without having to potentially end up in litigation. Thank you.
Anyone else? No. An excellent lead in. That brings us, we're going to make some changes on the agenda. We're going to move the personnel support NESPA collective bargaining agreement up. Mrs. Hollenbeck?
Whereas the Neshaminy School District and the Neshaminy Educational Support Professionals Association have a tentative agreement on a new 4-year collective bargaining agreement covering the school years from July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2022. And whereas the tentative agreement includes salary increases of 0.0%, 2.3%, 2.5%, and 2.55% for the 4 years of the agreement. And whereas the association has ratified the tentative agreement, but has advised the district of its position that it believes, a contractually listed holiday that falls during a work period, even if not worked, counts as time worked for overtime purposes. And whereas the district strongly disagrees with this position, but wishes to approve the tentative agreement forthwith. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the attached collective bargaining agreement with the Neshaminy Educational Support Professional Association covering July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2020, and authorizes the execution of said agreement by the appropriate board members, officers, and administration of the school district with the expressed understanding that a contractually listed holiday that falls during a work period, even if not worked, does not count as time worked for overtime purposes.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Pieratano. Comments, questions, observations?
I have a question. So the issue is over this overtime and the holiday pay. That's the major issue that we have here.
Correct. And
Okay.
just to be clear, when we negotiated, in the 2 years that we negotiated, holiday pay for overtime was never discussed, never brought up. It's never been in the contract. It was ratified, and then it came up after it was already passed. But holidays were never even discussed, ever.
So this is an all or nothing vote. We vote tonight. It's passed. If we vote against, then it's tabled.
What do you mean it's tabled? Well, I mean, that was our final offer to them, so I mean, if we don't approve it tonight, then I don't know what the next course of action is, because there's really no more bargaining at that point, because we were done. We thought we had an agreement. We'll see how the vote goes. I mean, I don't know if I'm misrepresenting.
Ms. Hollaback, that was accurate.
That was accurate. Mr. Tarenti, this is a roll call vote?
This is a roll call vote.
Okay. Yes, explain the roll call. Yes is to
Approve the contract.
approve the contract? No is... Okay. Roll call, please.
Marty Sullivan,
Yes.
Stephen Peritano,
Yes.
John Allen,
Just yell louder.
Yes. I never need it anyway.
Cindy Bowman,
Mine did too. Yes.
Irene Boyle,
Yes.
Bob Feather,
Yes.
Tina Hollenbach,
Yes.
Adam Kovitz,
Just yell louder.
no, and David Marrington is absent.
Okay.
7-1.
Okay, motion passes 7-1. Yep. Okay.
Motion passes 7-1. I don't think these are working.
The motion passes 7-1. Mine is.
None of the mics are working.
No, you're just.
Now it's mine.
Now it's working.
Yeah, okay, all right. We're good.
Now we'll go back in order. Section 2, routine matters. I'd like to make a master motion to approve item 2.01 minutes, 2.02 treasurer's report, 2.03 check register and procurement card purchases, 2.04 budget transfers, 2.05 investments, 2.06 exonerations. Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Hollenbach.
Excuse me. Before we go there, I was not here for the last meeting. I did not have a chance to review it, so I cannot approve the minutes.
Can you abstain?
You would just abstain
From the minutes or from the entire?
from just 2.01,
Oh, we'll pull it out.
which is the minutes.
Okay. We'll pull 2.02 minutes out. We'll vote separately on that. 2.01. Good.
I'd like to make a motion to amend for master motion of 2.02, 2.03, 2.04, 2.05, 2.06.
Second by Mr. Allen. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? That motion passes 8-0. Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve item 2.01 minutes. I'll read it. Resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves the attached minutes for October 22nd, 2019 public board meeting and the November 12th, 2019 public work session. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Puritano. Any comments or questions? In favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? So motion passes 7-0-1. Okay. Section 3, personnel certificated. I'd like to make a master motion to get all choked up and approve item 3.01, retirements, resignations, and end of assignments. 3.02, leaves of absence. 3.03, revised leaves of absence. 3.04, returns from leave. 3.05, appointments. 3.06, co-curricular resignations. 3.07, co-curricular appointments. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Kovitz. Comments or questions?
I have one comment, and I would like the superintendent could just address for the information to the community of why there are 12 teachers at this time on a hiring list.
In August, we had a number of contracts. The contracts that are identified here They're listed with the status of NT for non-tenured. Each of those contract positions at the time in August at hire were hired as long-term substitutes. We had multiple candidates, and so really late in the summertime, it gave the district an opportunity to observe our teachers and to make better choices as to who was going to be awarded the contracts. Different candidates were recommended to the central office. We had an interview process, and these were the candidates that are being recommended to the board for the actual contract award.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. The rest of Section 4, Mrs. Hollenbeck?
Vision to
Pull it out, and then we'll make a revision.
So do that one separate.
4.07? Okay.
4.01 has already been done. I'd like to make a motion to do 4.02, retirements, resignations, end of assignments. 4.03, leaves of absence. 4.04, revised leaves of absence. 4.05, appointments. 4.06, co-curricular appointments.
Can I get a second? Second by Mrs. Boyle. Comments, questions?
I'd just like to highlight that we have two members of the support staff that have served here for 35 years and 22 years that will be leaving us, and we just want to thank them for their long service here at Neshaminy. 22 years is Mary Beth Tanicello, and 35 years is Carol Hetrick.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Got a second?
By Irene. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0.
4.07, we need to pull out number 4. We need to get clarification on that, so that is being pulled out for this vote. Resolved that the Neshaminy School Board of School Directors hereby approves the following ancillary appointments for support staff. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, and number 6.
Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Allen. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Business operations, Mrs. Hollenbeck? Yep.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 5.01 Berkheimer confidentiality resolution, 5.02 electronic cigarettes and vaping products, and 5.05 403B plan amendment eligibility and hardship distribution changes.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Feather. Comments or questions?
I would just like to comment on item 5.02, electronic cigarettes and vaping products. As the public is probably aware, over the last year, it's become very, very concerning what children are using as far as these e-cigarettes, and the dangers that can come from them are very unknown at this time. It's been in the news. The district is actively pursuing to educate our students on why they shouldn't engage in these products and uses. And I believe is it tomorrow evening, Mr. Jones? We're having an event at the high school?
Not tomorrow evening.
Okay. December 3rd, thank you. December 3rd, we're having an event at the high school about vaping. Thank you, Bob. About vaping. I hope all will check it out on the district's website, and please, attend, and get some education so that we can help our students, our children, make smart choices. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Puritano. Can I, who seconded that? Who did second?
Bob Feather.
Bob Feather seconded, okay. Bob Feather seconded. All right, so,
Roll
All in favor?
All in favor of 5.01, 5.02, and 5.05? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's passed 8-0.
5.03, acceptance of donations. Whereas the Pearl Buck Elementary School Parent Teacher Organization has offered to donate playground equipment, and whereas the Walter Miller Elementary Parent Teacher Organization has offered to donate 2 water fountain bottle fillers to be installed by the Neshaminy School District Facilities Department. Now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby approves to accept the aforementioned donations from the Pearl Buck Elementary PTO and Walter Miller Elementary PTO.
Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Kovitz. Comments or questions?
I think we should mention the significant investment they're making.
Good.
Mr. Irwin, can you just comment on the amount of investment that the PTOs are investing in our schools?
Not just this item.
Right. He only has the information on this item.
Well, they continue to and have made significant investments in our schools. But this particular item, or these 2 particular items, are in. You change the page.
This is the water fountains, that number.
The water fountains are $2,203.76 each, and the playground equipment is approximately $22,316.
Thank you, Mr. Irwin. And I just personally want to thank our organizations and all our schools that constantly step up and continue to just invest in this community. And it's just a great thing to see the amount of people that we have involved here. So keep up the good work, and we don't want you to think it's not appreciated. It's highly appreciated. Thank you.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. 5.04.
5.04, Act 1 Index Resolution. Whereas Pennsylvania Boards of School Directors have the option to adopt the Act 1 resolution for the upcoming fiscal year in accordance with Section 311 of the Taxpayer Relief Act of Special Session Number 1 of 2006. And whereas the Act 1 index for 2020-2021 is 2.6%, and the district will not raise the rate of any taxes by more than the index. Now therefore be it resolved that the Neshaminy Board of School Directors hereby adopts the attached Act 1 Accelerated Budget Option Opt-out Resolution for the 2020-2021 budget in accordance with the Act 1 of 2006.
Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Allen. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Section 6, Educational Development. Mrs. Boyle.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 6.01, which is the 2020-2021 school district calendar, 6.02, overnight trips, 6.03, homebound instruction, 6.04, out-of-district placement, and 6.05, a settlement agreement.
Can I get a second? Second by Mr. Kovitz. Comments or questions? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Policy, Mrs. Boyle.
I'd like to make a motion to approve 7.02, which is the second reading of policy 204, 222, and 227.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? I'm just going to make one note. 7.01, we're not taking action on that because that's just the first reading of the policy.
Correct.
Thanks, Bob. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Adam.
Adam, you seconded it.
Yeah.
Did you second that?
Bob seconded. Bob seconded. Then.
Bob seconded it?
Yeah, Bob seconded. Bob seconded. All right. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 8-0. Any other board business? That brings us to the second public comment period. Please approach the podium if you have anything on your mind.
Hi, Deborah Harker, Middletown Township. I just have a question. When I was reading the agenda and I read the resolution regarding the NESPA agreement, I was sort of surprised by the disagreement that seems to be taking place over the use of overtime with holidays. And I'm just curious if we have been paying overtime for holidays where people have not worked, because FLSA is very clear with the Department of Labor that holiday time is not counted as hours worked for the purpose of overtime. So I'm wondering if we have been paying that in the past, which I don't think would have been a good use of our tax dollars, and I would just like you to clarify that. And I appreciate that if it has been done in the past, that you're resolving that by passing this today. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Brings us to board comment. Steve?
Thank you. I want to first, before I forget, to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving and enjoy time off with your family and friends. Why would he sigh? As far as Ms. Harper's question, we can't get into it specifically right now. All I can say is that the overtime language was specifically addressed to correct what we felt was practices that would not meet some of the criteria that you spoke about at the podium. So the overtime language that we have in there is specifically designed so that the district can have more control over its payroll, and is something, as Mrs. Hollenbach indicated at the beginning of the meeting, specifically sought from day one in negotiations over the 2-year period. I want to thank again the organizations that donate to us. It's much appreciated. This leaves me the last time I have to talk to Bob Feather, but I say that in a sad way. I really do, because Bob and I banter back and forth all the time, and it's really out of a mutual respect for each other that we have some fun sometimes. It's been a fast 4 years. I can't believe it's already been 4 years since we started. When Bob came to the board, there was very much opposed going on in the district. We were going through a lot of change. We definitely did not see eye to eye on it in the beginning, but over the years, Bob and I worked together on a lot of different items. And when you start working close with somebody, your differences start to shrink, and you realize more and more of what you can accomplish by working together to try and get something good done. Bob has been a fantastic advocate for the people of this district. While he doesn't speak about it much, Bob's always worried about what's right for the kids. He's always worried about what's the best we can do for our employees and what our responsibility is to this community. So it's with sadness that we see you go. I want to thank you for the relationship that you and I have been able to build over the years, and I wish you nothing but the best, and don't be a stranger. Thank you for your service.
I have to respond.
Somebody else may say something nice. You might want to wait.
The other man, he may want to speak now.
He's going to respond after each one.
Yeah.
I just have to say, thank you, Steve. I truly appreciate that. I came into this with a lot of apprehension and with a lot of question, a lot of concern, and I had no idea what was truly involved in doing and performing this service to the community. And I have to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you and I, we did go head to head on many of occasions and disagreed, as did some other board members and I.
I was just going to say, Bob, that I will really miss you. I mean, I really.
But I have to say that through all of this, every one of us, everyone here, all of you board members have been so, thank you, very supportive. And just, you know what, we've had our disagreements and we've had our arguments, and we've actually worked through them to get to where we are. And you know what, nothing is easy. And the other part of this too is, you know what, this is a thankless job. I mean, we hear this all the time. We heard this before we got into this. We hear this day after day after day after day, and we get beat up on a regular basis. And you know what, there's nothing like it. And I would not trade it for the world. So I just want to say I appreciate the support that I've gotten from the community. I appreciate all the feedback, both positive and negative. And I appreciate everything that we have had the opportunity to be involved with. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, even Don. I'm kidding. I just had to. But no, seriously. Unless you do this on a regular basis, you have no idea what's involved in this. And it's funny because even Scott Congdon, whom I've had a very tenuous relationship with when I first got onto the board, he said to me, "You get out of this what you put into it." And it's so true, because unless you put yourself into as many aspects and as many parts of this that you can, and unless you really involve yourself, you don't know what you can accomplish, and you have no idea what these accomplishments can actually do for the community as a whole, which is what we're here for. That's the ultimate goal for our students, for our constituents and taxpayers, obviously, but our students. That's the ultimate and bottom line. But I have to tell you, I really do, and I truly appreciate every one of you and all of the time that I've had to interact with every one of you. So I'm going to leave it at that. I do want to say happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all. I'm sorry if I fell short of what some of you expected. I did my best. I tried to do my best. I looked at everything in every aspect that I possibly could have. And I just want to say I love this school district, and I would not have traded this for the world. So thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Again, just to get on the same train with you, Bob, you've been comrade in arms, and we don't always see eye to eye, but I think we were of the same mind when it came to the stuff that really counted. So I thank you for the time we got to spend with you, and you know, thank you very much. You will be missed. I will miss you. So thank you. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
I really wish you'd waited, Bob, because I wanted the opportunity to also, I believe we came into this on opponents on an issue, maybe two. But I wanted to be sure you understood that I never once doubted your devotion to the district. And I am so pleased that we were able to work on committees together and got to know each other on a different level, and I hope come to respect each other. I certainly respected your opinion as sitting on the facility committee. I will miss your voice against others that don't always agree with our point of view, but I just wanted to be sure you knew that you're leaving a hole here for all you've contributed, and will be missed. And I wish you well in wherever you go. And again, I'll echo Steve, don't be a stranger. You can always sit it back, come to the podium. We'll help you back, no problem. I just wanted to, with all this that has happened, unfortunately, there's a little cloud over this, but I just wanted to thank everyone on the negotiating teams on both sides to come to a resolution on the contract. I recognize and understand that there's an issue that is still outstanding, but I feel overall, the fact that we have a contract in place that most of us seem to agree will work for us moving forward, I think that's something to be celebrated, and I just wanted to say that. And I'm just thanked both teams that came together on that. And I'll leave you all with a very happy Thanksgiving wish. I hope you all get to spend time with your family and friends. And remember, some of us have relatives that are serving overseas, can't be with us, or is simply in college or away. Keep them in mind. And again, all have very happy Thanksgiving. That's all.
Couple of quick comments. Bob, you will be missed. Good luck. Maybe we'll see you back here sometime. In regards to the contract, I believe that both sides negotiated it in good faith. It took us a long time to get here. So I am pleased that we're finally, I thought, at an end resolution for that, and we'll see what happens in the future. Both sides, it was ratified, it was agreed. We tirelessly worked on it to get it done because I know that was a big issue for so long. Don't care about us, we want to get it done. It's done. So let's celebrate that. I thank everybody for their hard work with that on both sides. And again, happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much turkey and sleep the afternoon away. Thank you.
I just wanted to say, Bob, you will be missed. The policy committees will never be the same again. You would have to be at the meetings between Bob and Steve to understand, right? But and I know you think that that I don't approve of anything you say or do, but that's not true.
Just most.
Yes. So I just wanted to wish you well, and I'm sorry you're leaving, and please come back and see us, okay? And everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
That brings it to me. Bob, we came on the board together. You were pissed at my first vote, but that's life, right? But we have developed a good relationship. I always enjoy when I'm either walking through the city or driving up 95 and you call and you say, am I bothering you? And you never let me answer that question. You just start talking. But I'll say now, you were never bothering me, okay? But I guess, on the last Tuesday in January and the last Tuesday in February, when we're here, you'll be luckily sitting at home on the couch enjoying yourself. So, but we do what we have to do. So you will be missed. I think over the last 4 years and the last 2 years too, I think we built a good team here. And we did accomplish a lot that we can be proud of as a group and as a board. And we look forward to continuing that too, Bob. Not to throw you under the bus, but Steve, imagine if Steve just whispered in my ear. When the new board member joins, that will continue also. So with that, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Bob, you opposed?